Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome back to the NOFO Live show, where I, Sunita, along with my co-host Tracy, we go live every Friday and we talk about everything North Fork. I'm laughing because this is take two. I just tried to go live, and our guest today is Ira from KK's farm in Southold. And for some reason, there was having connections issues, and finally we were all in, but then the audio disappeared. So this is take two, and I'm trying it again. And I hope that, Tracy will find her way back here, and hopefully Ira and Sonomi will find their way back here. It's been a fun morning. Anyway, we were talking about the Dandelion Festival that is this weekend, Sunday, at the farm in Southold. And if you have never been, it is a beautiful celebration of the dandelions, which a lot of people, myself included, at least in my past life, treat as weeds and something that is negative and that needs to be eradicated and eliminated from this planet. The flower, the leaves, the roots, to the point where it's a full-fledged festival day of talking about the dandelion. Can you hear me now?
Take two. Yes, I can. Now let's see.
I don't know what happened. I think, somehow their call came in as an Instagram audio connection. I really hope they can find their way back in. I was like, it completely disappeared. Let me just try sending a invite to them, see if they see it. You could hear them.
You were talking about the dandelion and how it's viewed as a weed, and I too, admittedly, had always looked at it as a weed. And now that I have Tilly, I see it as like something that she can flow, and I love it. So, all right, Ira, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good morning. Welcome. Hi, Sonomi. It's lovely to meet you.
Hi, Sonomi.
Hi.
Hello.
I see the dandelion being represented in there. Well, I'm just saying, I'm representing too. I have the t-shirt.
I'm representing because my head is shaped like a dandelion.
Golden sunshine, golden friend of the farm.
Yeah. That's what it says. That's what it says on the back. That's what the t-shirt says on the back. All right, let's jump right into it, Ira. Please tell us a little bit about the farm itself. And I know you have a long history, so we can't really go all the way back, but tell us a little bit about KK's farm, and then we'll jump into the festival.
Very quickly, KK and I, that was my wife for 45 years, passed away about 9 years ago. We came out here in 1999, bought the farm. We never intended on farming, but when our grandchildren were being born, KK thought it'd be a great idea to grow the healthiest food for the grandkids. And that's how we started growing food.
I love that.
It's a longer story, but I'll tell that at the Dandelion Festival.
and tell us, and you follow something that we only know the catchphrase for, called biodynamic farming. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, biodynamic farming in the shortest possible way is a way to fertilize the earth without any harmful chemicals. That's the main thing. We work number of components. We work by a calendar. There's certain times that are better to work with root crops, leaf crops, fruit, and flowers. If you work on those times, you get the maximum vitality out of the plant, which means the best nutrition and therefore the best taste.
So let me just understand this, because my friend Penny follows permaculture, which is similar or along the same vein. So it's a physical calendar that says, instead of Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it says today's a fruit day and tomorrow's a flower day, and so on and so forth.
That's correct. And every year it changes, and it's all based on the sun, the moon, the planets, the energy coming from the rest of the cosmos. And there are certain blackout times on the calendar when you shouldn't harvest. It's not that you can't, but you'll get, the harvest won't last as well. And if you plant it, you won't get as good a germination rate, and you might get misformed plants also. So there's a lot of benefits to working with the calendar. And then other parts of the biodynamic process is bio is life. Dynamic is force. We pay attention to the life force in the plants and the beings all around the farm. And we do certain homeopathic amendments. When we make compost, we put in yarrow, dandelion, oak bark.
Nettle.
Nettle,
Yeah.
and then Dandelion, and then Valerian.
Chamomile. And all this does is make a great environment for the microbes. The microbes really are the ones that break down organic matter into a form that the plants can take up nutrition.
Wow.
So it's a great homeopathic system. It considers the farm as a whole organism, including the people, the animals, the plants, the elementals that help us do everything.
It's
Wow.
it's a whole all-encompassing lifestyle,
Yeah.
if you will. Because the chamomile and all these valerian and all the things you mentioned, first you grow them, then you use them for other things, and then you reuse them in different forms back into the earth. We understand that farming is a cycle, but you have so many different components. Like, I was fascinated by, Penny's on the call here. Hi, Penny. When she would be like, oh, today I have to plant only flowers because it's flower day. And then one day she mentioned, oh, today is a rest day. I can just sip my wine because today I can't plant anything. And I was like, maybe that's why my garden is dying, because I'm planting willy-nilly
have a lot of biodynamic wineries too, around so much on Long Island, but we do have a lot of biodynamic wineries. Yeah, it's a great system. It's part of the anthroposophical understanding of the universe and our existence and life in general, and human beings, what we are really. And it's a way of sustaining soil fertility for a century in the same place.
So it's like its own little ecosystem in there,
Yes.
right? That's kind of...
Each farm is its own individuality, and we pay attention by observing. On my farm, there are many different microenvironments, so to treat all the different areas the same is not really the best thing that we can do. So we observe. And then we take action. We perceive, we make concepts about what we perceive and have feelings, and go forth and provide the best food we can without harming the earth. That's what the Dandelion Festival is all about.
Let's transition to that. Yeah. So how many years have you been doing the Dandelion Festival?
Since 2016.
Oh, okay. Quite a while.
Just took a couple of years off during COVID. People were a little hesitant about gathering, but now we're back.
Yeah, people are ready to get together and have, social, and why not community activities.
So what can we expect on Sunday? What activities are there going to be?
Let me just back up a minute. The whole Sonomi started the Dandelion Festival after we attended seminars at the Pfeiffer Center, and part of the study was about dandelion. Sonomi made a pledge to honor the dandelion.
I love it.
So she can tell you about how it started.
Yeah, I attended this conference and then learned about this medicinal plants, especially that we use for the biodynamic practice, which is the dandelion and the yarrow. And then somehow the dandelion just struck me. Wait a minute, this is a medicine, what we have been doing this for them.
Yeah.
And it just I felt so long. This is so long that the kids blow for the wishes, and then we
blowing wishes with the flower.
Wishes of the seed just goes off for the wishes all around, and then this dandelion is such a helpful. They're trying to help our body health system after the all long winter. It's a strong liver and gallbladder tox, detoxing.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
If you're into that, and then that's why they come right after the winter.
Are we gonna learn at the festival how to properly digest those for our kidney and liver?
Yes, we have a lot of sampling. We made a dandelion pesto.
Ooh.
Dandelion jelly, dandelion syrup. We have a lot of products.
Wow, and you guys made those?
Yes.
Wow.
And I personally made a coffee using the roots, and which is just like, it tastes like a coffee and without caffeine in it.
Wow. Well, you started off by saying you went to a conference, and immediately some of us might be picturing, stuffy rooms and a suit and a presentation, but you're talking about a very earthy, gathering with farmers, because I know you mentioned this scenario to me, and I can just visualize how the whole dandelion really spoke to you, that you brought it back with you and decided you want a whole celebration of this majestic, powerful plant.
Yes.
Yes, well, the dandelion, it's part of the biodynamic method of farming. So the seminar was just part of a lecture series that encompasses Rudolf Steiner's agriculture course, and that's where you can find the basis of biodynamics in that course, given in 1924, a series of 8 lectures. And if you want to know, it was after World War I that the German farmers had trouble because the munitions people making all the munitions for World War I started making petrochemical fertilizer, herbicides, fungicides. And within 5 years, the agriculture in Germany declined. The farmers came to Stein and said, how do we fix this? So biodynamics was originally intended to remediate soil, way of maintaining soil health ongoing. We're always replenishing the phytonutrients, the trace elements and minerals. And we just think, KK just wanted to grow the best food for her grandkids and studied organics. We went to the Nature Lyceum, where Stephen Storch, one of the biodynamic practitioner, gave a lecture. She came home that night and said, we're doing biodynamics. I said, what is that? That's a little hocus pocus. But then after tasting the food, KK and I helped each other our whole lives. And I helped her, and my stomach and my brain where my stomach and my taste buds convinced my brain it was a great idea. So we dove in, and Sonomi joined us after helping KK set up the school garden at Southold. And
that was about the time.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know you guys were really the pioneers in terms of setting, putting that out into the school gardens here, and the kids learn about it as well.
Yes, KK helped start all the school gardens on the North Fork. And South was the largest, and Sonomi was instrumental in creating and maintaining the garden. Her son Kai was at school then.
It was the biggest, school garden that almost like a farm.
Wow.
And we surreptitiously did biodynamic practices there. We're just concerned that people would think a little bit odd, but it produced the best food.
That's fantastic.
So anyway, you asked about the activities. We have activities in the pasture. We have music in our pasture. We're going to have lectures in our big barn. We have educational groups and vendors coming. Some of the lectures, and that's really my emphasis, is the education, to educate everybody to not put out harmful chemicals on the soil, because anything you put out in the soil eventually winds up a single source aquifer, goes into our creeks, our bays, and estuaries, and it's detrimental to the environment on all levels.
So speaking of education, I got a little bit of a tour with you a couple of days ago when I stopped by to see the farm, and of course I expected to see lettuce and spinach and all of the things that we expect. But the first thing you showed me was several different flats of dandelions. Like, you're literally growing dandelions in little containers. And I was like, I have never in my life seen or expected to see somebody nurturing and growing dandelions.
Sonomi's up in Churchtown Dairy, and she is going to have a dandelion festival in 2 weeks after this one.
Yes.
So those are for that festival.
I'm an ambassador for the dandelion, and why not? I'm gonna plant this seed and then pot in the one pot, and then maybe I'm hoping people take home and plant them.
And wait a minute, it's not, Tracy, it's not dandelion. It's Italian dandelion.
Oh.
It's French. I mean, I'm sure I'm saying the wrong things. There are multiple types of dandelions growing in these mini 1-inch pots that you're going to then put out into the world. Kudos to you.
Italian, French, Chinese, Japanese, all different colors too, pink, white, and
really? They come in different colors?
They do.
I had no idea.
This dandelion festival is so needed in our lives. Who knew we would be so excited about something that half the world is trying to eradicate from their beautiful lawns?
Yeah, so
possible to eradicate because they have a very deep root. That deep root goes down, it brings up minerals, specifically calcium. So if you see a lot of dandelions, that particular area is probably a little deficient in calcium. And the dandelion's trying to remediate the soil also, not just help us, but the soil.
Yeah, and yes, it's just also calcium is great, and then also potassium that the dandelion contain. And the potassium and calcium is a great mixture for the soil. When dandelion die and they just keep giving it and adding in the soil, and then they always loosen up the strong taproots go really deep, and then they're just trying to loosen it up, then let the air comes in so they can breathe and the soil get the better.
So
And
basically, by us using, you know, whatever weed killer or whatever to remove the dandelion, we're actually harming the soil, which would have been helped by the dandelion had we just left it there, and it would have fixed itself eventually.
Yes.
Correct. Perfect. You got that. You got the message,
Yeah.
right? Besides not poisoning the water. So yeah, a lot of benefits to not trying to eradicate the dandelion.
Yeah.
And think about the dandelion always come massively in a certain particular time, and that's the time we need it most.
Yeah.
And then you know, if you trust the nature, and if you love the nature, and the nature's intelligence right there in front of you and telling you, I am a nutritious, and that's I'm trying to help you for your health. I'm here, and we.
It's so interesting that you pointed out that it comes right after winter, which is what you're saying is when we need it. I mean, we never, at least I never went into that much depth of thinking of why something blooms at a certain time or how nature already has a bigger plan for us than we can even figure out.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
root,
what time is the Dandelion Festival so that our listeners can join us? It's on Sunday, right?
this Sunday, noon to 6 p.m.
Okay.
We have handouts which identify all of the activities and what time they take place. And, you know, if it's raining, we're going to be doing everything in the barn. So we encourage everybody to come anyway.
And can we find the schedule online for those of us who have little people who need to nap?
So I do. Yeah, I
We'll put it online.
Yeah, we put it on the Facebook or Instagram on the schedule.
Okay.
So
Great. So people can go to your Instagram and find out the schedule on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll put it
Okay. Perfect.
And I'll repost it, so that's great.
Okay.
That you know, that's great that you have a schedule that we can, you know, if somebody's more into. I know you have talks about the dandelion as well, and you also will have a lot of vendors there that you have sometimes at your farm market, so people can pick up goodies that are available right now.
Correct. And we also have educational groups like North Fork Audubon Society, a group for the East End.
slow food.
Slow Food. We're going to have representatives from Long Island Pine Barrens, the Nature Lyceum, Save the Sound, and Save Mattatuck Inlet, the Peconic Bioregion Alliance, and the North Fork Environmental Council. Besides KK's Farm, and we have many more.
So what do you currently have growing that we can expect to pick up if someone wants to take home? I know you probably have greens. I know you have a greenhouse and a lot of stuff growing right now.
Spinach, red Russian kale. We have all the kales. We have probably 20 kinds of lettuces. We have maybe 5 kinds of pestos. We have compound butter. We have a lot of things that we can show.
That's great.
I took Tracy. I don't know if you ever eaten it, but I looked at it was just being picked that day. Was rainbow Swiss chard.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Really? No, I haven't had that.
It looks so good. I said after I came back, I messaged Ira saying I should have brought a picnic basket or something that I can farm basket. That I mean, I sampled a lot. I sampled the lettuce. I sampled the kale as we were walking. But we really should have some sampling tours there where people can wander and learn more about, because it really was therapeutic and educational. Just the short visit with you walking through the beds.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're not the largest farm, but we're just quality. We have a little of everything.
We have a farm tour too.
Yeah,
So
we're going
we
to have
show you.
farm tours. I forgot to mention that on Sunday. We'll have 2 farm tours, 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Billy, I just heard Tilly in the background, so make sure her nap schedule is around that.
She's standing at the bottom of the stair. I'm up on my attic level, and she's standing at the bottom of the stairs at the baby gate going, Mama, Mama.
She wants a dandelion. Oh, wait, and you have flower crowns? Hold on, I need to hear about that.
Yes. Flower crown making. Sonomi's gonna do some face painting for the kids. We have 2 educational groups for kids. Maureen Radigan from the Maureen Child Garden. Jennifer Murray, Turtleback Farm. So we have things to do.
That's fantastic. Well,
we have a labyrinth for people to walk around. 7-petal labyrinth in the pasture.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, I didn't see that.
Well.
Okay, I need to check that out on Sunday.
Okay.
And you'll have dandelion.
We will do that in our flower crowns, Sunita.
I mean, yes. I'll take a dandelion just in my ear. We'll start with that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, I like that. I like that, Sonomi. That works for me.
Other is a golden.
Oh, good question. Stacy just asked where you are located. Can you give everybody the address?
Yes, it's on Main Road in Southold, 59945 Main Road.
And it's across from Oldfield, right? So if you know where Oldfield is, it's across from there.
Yeah, probably.
Can you?
Up the park on Bay Home, the next street. We'll probably fill up pretty quick.
Okay, so you don't want people parking on the main road. You want people parking. What was the street again?
Bay Home, just to the east of Oldfield Vineyard.
Okay, perfect. So we usually end our show with the NOFO Live 5, and we already know your answer to one of the questions, but we're going to go through the other one.
5 questions?
5 questions. So the first question is, Ira and Sonomi, if you were going to take Sunita and I out to lunch or dinner, where would you take us on the North Fork?
Well, you know,
a couple places. Southwood Fish Market. Hi, Charlie. And because I love fish, yeah, obviously, and shell and then fish is such a specialty here. And hell yeah, yes, fancy time. Yeah,
well, you know, I love
so
Frisky Oyster, North Fork Table and Inn, but
definitely.
you know, we supply so many restaurants, it's hard to leave anybody out.
That's right.
Well, I will take you up on the offer to take me to North Fork Table and Inn, because that sounds pretty good to me.
Wait, if you go to North Fork Table and Inn, we can probably enter from the chef entrance, because there's many pictures of Ira dropping off salad leaves and produce at the chef's door. So I want to go through that door.
Well,
yeah,
a good experience. Yes.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine. And I also love you, like you said about you supply to so many restaurants. I love when I go to a restaurant and if the salad is listed or whatever is listed and it says produced by KK's farm, it just makes my heart smile, because then I know where the food is coming from. And it's just something so amazing that we just see casually all the time, and it's great. It's great. Now your work hours are crazy at the farm, because you know, I'm sure you're working early in the morning. Do you catch a sunrise? Do you catch a sunset? And if so, do you have a good tip for us on what's a good location around here?
Well, I do it right here. I know you're a great sunset photographer.
Oh, thank you.
Sonomi and I do this practice, Agnihotra, which we talked about, and it's a fire ceremony at sunset. We've been doing it all week.
So can you just tell, I mean, I heard the story, but can you tell everybody a little bit about what that is? Because it was so beautiful.
It's a Vedic, Ayurvedic Indian, you know, fire ceremony. It's called Agni Hotra, and then which we use a copper pyramid, which is upside down instead of this way, and the sort of copper pyramid tray. You burn the cow dung with the ghee, split it, and then you just set the fire on that pyramid upside down on the particular time on the location, the sunrise or sunset, and then call out to the mantra.
And what is the purpose of the ceremony?
It's a purification of the
Atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
Yeah, it helps with the atmosphere, clear.
So you're just doing it to put good vibes out into the planet.
It's a
Oh, wow.
sound vibration, but also we use the ash medicinally. It's great for the compost in the farm. And there's a whole therapy called homotherapy where you mix the ash with either honey or coconut oil and spread it on wounds. It really heals.
Wow.
Well.
So while the rest of us are starting our mornings by standing in front of a coffee maker, this is your life.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Beautiful life. It's a beautiful life. You mentioned it somewhere in the conversation about the farms. Several farms do biodynamic farming, but I'm talking about the vineyards. Is there a vineyard you frequent, you like? You want to talk about a little bit of biodynamic practices at vineyards?
Well, Macari does biodynamic practices. They're not certified biodynamic, so they don't claim, but they clean and they don't use harmful materials. And they do a lot of, Steve Storch actually does a lot of preps with Joe Macari. And they've increased the organic content of the soil over the years tremendously doing that.
They have a most beautiful pile of compost.
Oh, they make amazing,
massive amount of compost and biochar and all the things that you can just generate, like activate all the soil, and that's, you know,
great tasting wines.
And then they become, you know, you can clearly, you know, taste that.
As an architect, I've designed wineries. I did Raphael and others, but Macari does the practice that we're interested in, biodynamic practice.
Yeah. So we know which farm stand is your favorite, or which farm is your favorite. But if you're looking for something specific that you don't grow and you want to get it obviously here fresh on the North Fork, where do you guys frequent?
Well, Wickham's farm stand has a good variety, and they have a great selection of their white corn is unique, and they have early asparagus. So, you know, Kate and I would go there and pick things up. But
perfect.
All farms that don't do harmful chemicals, I'm happy to support.
Great. Yes, and the more the better around here, right?
Yes, I think we're, you know, hopefully encouraging a wave of the non-harmful chemical farming.
I think you are. Well, that leads us into our closing question. We usually ask people why they love being a part of the North Fork community. So could you guys sum that up for us?
Because it's, you know, here's a food culture is so powerful. And then our living, you know, our life is so related to the nature, pretty much. Farming, and then fishing and climbing, you know, those, it's called business, but it's our lifestyle. And then that's such a beautiful awareness that we are so living with it, that feed us, so we want to treat them. So that would make it very special place here.
Yeah.
I'm also interested in nutrients for the farm and the soil, but the nutrient of fellowship is very important.
Yeah.
That's why I stay here.
Yes, I love that. I love that, Ira. Thank you, Sonomi. Thank you, Ira, so much. We just want to take a minute to do a little bit of housekeeping here before we hang up. For those of you who tune in every Friday, we appreciate you so much. We want to let you know that starting on May 19th, we will be doing the show from NOFO Live's Instagram handle rather than NOFO Style. So if you are not following NOFO Live yet, go over there, follow NOFO Live so that you get the notification that we've gone live, because we're becoming official, folks, if you haven't noticed. and started off with a horrible tech morning. But anyway, one thing at a time.
Well, Ira, thank you so much for coming. I don't think I've ever been this emotional on a show. I really thank you and appreciate for everything you're doing and have been doing for so many years. And some of us are slow to absorb it. So thank you for continually talking about the practices. I can't wait to come to the festival on Sunday and learn more and hopefully take some steps towards incorporating it into my own life. So thank you, Ira. Thank you, Sonomi.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Have a great
Thank you.
See you
See you on
Sunday.
Sunday. Bye. Bye.
Yellow.
Yeah. Oh, wear yellow. Wear yellow.